Not every Wonder Kid makes it to the top stage. In fact, for every one Wonder Kid who lives up to their potential, there are at least 10 Wonder Kids who doesn't. These are some of the biggest football Wonder Kids you might have forgotten everything about. You might all have seen this picture before, but who is this guy? Well, that is Ravel Morrison. Picture this, Sir Alex Ferguson, a man who's seen the likes of Ryan Giggs and Cristiano Ronaldo calling you the most naturally gifted player he'd ever seen. That's the kind of praise Ravel was getting as a teenager. His skill, technique, and vision on the ball were unmatched, and those who watched him play believed he was destined for greatness. But that didn't quite happen. He had issues with discipline, which overshadowed his potential. After he left Manchester United's academy, he had a bit of a nomadic career, playing for 14 different clubs across the globe, from England to Italy, Mexico, and even Sweden. Morrison currently plays for Precision FC in the second tier of UAE football. His story is a sad, what could have been tale, and it's one that still captivates fans who saw his early promise. Morrison's journey is a reminder of how raw talent alone isn't enough. Hachim Mastour is another player who had the world at his feet, but couldn't quite live up to the hype. If you were on YouTube in the early 2000s and 10s, you've probably seen his insane freestyle videos. AC Milan snapped him up as a 14-year-old teenager, and the world was convinced he'd be the next superstar. At just 15, he was training with Milan's first team, and even Neymar acknowledged his talent. But Mastour's career became a cautionary tale about the dangers of too early hype. Despite showing promise, loan spells at Malaga and PEC Zvola didn't go as planned. Injuries and a lack of development left him bouncing around clubs in lower leagues. Now he's 26 years old and doesn't have a club anymore. But now let's talk about Bojan Krkic. If you followed Barcelona during the late 2000s, you'll remember Bojan as the golden boy of La Masia. Dubbed the next Messi, Bojan broke every youth goal-scoring record imaginable. He made his Barcelona debut at 17 and scored 12 goals in his first season. But with the glory came crushing pressure. Bojan admitted later that anxiety affected his performance. While he had some memorable moments at clubs like Roma and Stoke City, he never reached the heights everyone expected. After stints in Japan and the MLS, he retired in 2023 at just 32. It's a bittersweet story of what could have been. From one La Masia talent to another, we arrive at Ansu Fati. Ansu Fati is a name you've likely heard more recently. A record breaker at Barcelona, he was the youngest player to score in La Liga and the Champions League. Fans thought he was the heir to Messi's throne. At just 16, he lit up Camp Nou with his talent, but then came the injuries. A devastating knee injury in 2020 led to 4 surgeries, and Fati struggled to regain his rhythm. A loan move to Brighton in the Premier League was supposed to help him rediscover his form, but it didn't go as planned with only 5 goal contributions in 30 games. After an underwhelming spell, he returned to Barcelona. Now he's 22 and back at Camp Nou, trying to rebuild his confidence and form. Fati's story is far from over, but it's a stark reminder that even the brightest talents can face unexpected challenges. And now we're back in Manchester. If you're a Manchester United fan, Adnan Januzaj's name probably brings back memories of hope and heartbreak. His breakout season in 2013 was electrifying. 2 stunning goals against Sunderland, and suddenly he was the club's next big star. He was gliding past defenders with ease and carrying a struggling United team on his young shoulders. But inconsistency and perhaps a bit too much hype saw his career stall. Januzaj moved to Real Sociedad, where he had some strong seasons, but he never regained the momentum of his teenage years. Now he's 29 and is still playing, but the days of being compared to Ryan Giggs feel like a lifetime ago. Finally, Karamoko Dembélé. If you followed youth football, you'll remember the hype around him. At just 13, he was making headlines for playing in Celtic's U20s, which meant he was playing with and against players who were up to 7 age groups above him. But the transition to senior football wasn't smooth. Injuries, limited opportunities, and the physical demands of the senior game slowed his progress. After leaving Celtic, he moved to Stade Brestois in League One, followed by a loan spell at Blackpool in the Championship. Unfortunately, his form didn't significantly improve. Now Dembélé is 21 and is playing for QPR, where he's managed to score just 1 goal in 10 matches. But let's not forget, he's still only 21 years old and has plenty of time to develop and fulfill his potential.